It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another live Q&A. This is Q&A 170. As always, let me know if there's any issues with the stream, if there's any lag, or if the audio is not right. Let's jump right into the questions. Ronnie Thomas, hi Ash, hi, how are you? Glad you could join. First question from Ronnie Thomas. For you, between Ezekiel and Rosita, who's the most likely to die? In season 10, I would say Ezekiel is more likely to die than Rosita. Ronnie Thomas, also, do you think Coco might have the role of Herschel Jr. since Maggie is not on the show no more? They could remix it such that it works like that, but I think they don't necessarily need to do the baby Herschel stuff. As far as season 10 is concerned, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing really there that they need to do for baby Herschel in season 10. Later on, maybe Herschel Jr. will become more of a important character near the end, but right now I don't think it's such a big deal. But they could definitely remix it and give that to Coco for sure. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Rosita might have a bigger role since she's a mother now? I do think that Rosita is going to have a big role in season 10. As far as avenging the death of someone close to her. I don't necessarily know how they're going to go with it, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about my opinions or predictions about who I think is going to die in my death prediction, but I think the big role that Rosita is going to have is going to involve her getting vengeance for someone's death. And we do see hints of that in the trailer, and I did go over that in one of my previous videos. Ronnie Thomas, how do you think Michonne might die if she dies? I don't think she's going to die. But if she dies, she's probably going to get some sort of a remixed version of Andrea's death. I think it wouldn't work any other way. If she's going to die, that's the biggest death you could give her. Ronnie Thomas, also imagine they killed off Eugene in the place of Gabriel. Well, here's the thing. Gabriel is an important character going into season 10 in terms of after the Whisperers War. Because of his connection to the Commonwealth and Stephanie and all of that, which they have already more or less confirmed. Because there are images of Eugene on the radio, and they did kind of hint at it or reveal the Commonwealth in a way at the end of season 9. So I think because of that, Eugene is more safe than some of the other characters. And I don't think it'll make sense for them to give Gabriel's death to Eugene. They might give that death to maybe Siddiq, but not Eugene. I don't think that would work. Ronnie Thomas, how would you react if the Whisper War lasts just 2 episodes? It might be something close to that, but it's a little more involved than that. Like, there's more things to it than that. I think season 10, the first few episodes, is going to be the Cold War type of story when it comes to the Whisperers. After that, maybe in episode, let's say 3 or 4, we might see the Whisperers threat rising up again, and it's not like a Cold War feel anymore. Like, they're gonna really punch back at the group or hit back at the group. And after that, let's say in episode 6 or 7, we're really gonna dive into the Whisperers War. Like, I think 6, 7, and 8 are gonna be the actual Whisper War. So that's 3 episodes. So I think out of the 8, the first 3 are gonna be the Cold War aspect. The next 2 are going to be the rise of the Whisperers threat again. And it's going to get into the war. And you know, the last 3 episodes of the first half, I think it's going to be really the Whisperer's War. So I wouldn't react in a negative way because I can see it coming. Ronnie Thomas, what role Carol has on the show? For me, her history is done after avenges her son. I don't think Carol's story is over after avenging Henry's death. I think they could do a lot of things with Carol. Some of it will be a little bit repetitive, but that's where they can give it an interesting and unique twist and, you know, push her story in multiple different ways. But I don't think that her story is necessarily done after Henry's death is avenged. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Rosita could lead a community? I don't think she's leadership type of. She has leadership type of characteristics. Maybe a small community, but a big community, I don't think it'll fit her. Like, she's not the type of character that can lead a group. You know what I mean? Ronnie Thomas, if Daryl has or was trapped in an island full of walkers, how long would he make? How long would he survive, or how long would he go for? In an island, I would say by himself, maybe not long. And how many walkers? You're saying full of walkers, but how many? If it's really overwhelming number of walkers, I don't think he can survive that long. Unless he builds like a treehouse or something and stays inside. But then again, he doesn't have a lot of supplies or a lot of food, you know? So maybe he'll go for like maybe 2 weeks, maybe even a month. But I don't think he could survive longer than that. Assuming, like I said, it's like a lot of walkers and you're saying 100. So there's 100 walkers in a small island. I don't think Daryl can go for a long, long time. Because at some point, his supplies will run out. And what is he going to do? You know what I mean? Ronnie Thomas, if Alicia dies in the final or in the finale of season 5, what will happen next? Who knows? With Fear the Walking Dead, there's no way to make predictions because they're all over the place. So who knows what's gonna happen? Will it be positive for the show if she dies? No, because the story started with the family: Nick, Travis, Alicia, Chris, and Madison. All are dead, except Alicia. If you kill Alicia, then it's no longer going to be Fear the Walking Dead. It might have the same title, but it's going to be so different that it's not going to feel the same. It's not going to feel like the same story or the same show. So, you know, your guess is as good as mine. What will happen next? I don't know. They did hint that, or they did reveal that they're going to shake things up at the end of the season, and season 6 is going to be a lot different. One thing, they've said that many times before, so I don't really believe it or buy it. But if they're telling the truth, then that's indicating that they're going to kill a lot of major characters and they're going to start over again. They've done that multiple times, and it just bothers me. Like, every time the story is building up, they do a massive time jump that breaks the momentum. Every single freaking time. They did it once when... And my camera died. Let me fix my camera first. Sorry about that. So they did it once with or at the end of season 3, when Morgan was supposed to cross over, they did a massive time jump which broke the momentum, I think, of what they were building or what they were trying to do. They did a similar thing in the last episode. There was a time jump, and all the momentum in the first few episodes of the season was just broken. It just died. They've done that before as well. So, in a way, if Alicia dies, it could only lead to bad things. It could never lead to good things to come. But there's a very good chance that that's what they might be planning. That's where they might be going with it. Ronnie Thomas, do you think if Daryl and Alicia team up, they would be friends? I mean, they don't have a lot of similarities. So, who knows, you know? I don't really care about those types of conversations or find it useful or helpful because, you know, it's just speculation. It's just one fan's opinions over the others. For me, honestly, I don't think that matchup would really work. But it could just be me. Like, it's a preference thing, like I said. Ronnie Thomas, how do you think Rick react if he learns Michonne kissed Ezekiel? Depends how it happens. We still don't know if it's a romantic thing or if it's something entirely different. But if it's romantic, Rick would not have kind words for Ezekiel. Let's just say that. Cade Woody, yo bro, it's been a minute. How's it going? How's it going, man? Glad you could join. Ronnie Thomas, do you think the season or the 3 shows will be awesome or just lame? Oh, the 3rd series? I think there's definitely a chance for them to do something interesting and different and unique. Will they mess it up like they did with Fear? There's a good chance they might. But, you know, let's be optimistic at this point. Or I'm optimistic at this point. We have 15 minutes to go, so 15 minutes of Q&A, and then we'll end it. I know today's is a little shorter than usual, or usually we go for 30 minutes anyway, but it's a little less than that if you think about it. But I do have a bunch of things I want to get to, but I didn't want to miss this Q&A. So we'll go for 15 more minutes. Ronnie Thomas, do you think... I just read that. Ronnie Thomas, for me, Fear the Walking Dead is dead. I mean, they're out of ideas. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Ronnie, how will the Negan and Alpha face-off play out? I don't think it'll be Negan and Alpha together. I think Carol will be involved in that. How much will she be involved? That's a different question. But I don't think that it'll be just Negan and Alpha. I think they're gonna remix the story and maybe give the majority of that story to Carol. But maybe Negan will have a part in it as well. And I have done videos before where I dive deep into how I think it might work out. So if you're interested, check out one of my previous videos about that. I think you can just search Who Will Kill Alpha or something like that, and the video should open, or you should be able to find the video. Brian H.M., I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Q&A, if Maggie and Herschel Jr. come back, how will they react to Negan getting freed? Maggie specifically, I think she will not like it for sure, but I don't think she'll oppose it as much as she did before. I think Negan and Maggie already had their moments, so I don't think it'll be as extreme or intense for Maggie in terms of seeing Negan free. She will definitely mind. She would prefer if Negan was not freed, but I don't think she'll go crazy or anything like that. And I think that, like I said, because Negan and Maggie already had their moments, it's just going to be about closure for Maggie. Whether she has had time to get the closure or whether, she wants more time before Negan is freed. Kid Woody, I gotta say, I saw Fear the Walking Dead episode 10, and I think it's actually a very good episode. If you haven't seen it, don't worry, I won't spoil anything. I hope so. I mean, we're consistently getting okay to bad episodes in Fear so far. So, I hope that it's not bad. I hope it's a good episode, and, I'll go into it optimistic, like, based on what you said as well. Kid Woody, definitely better than mid-season premiere, a lot better. I hope so, and I'm glad you're saying that because I found the mid-season premiere very disappointing. It wasn't terrible, but it was just disappointing. And I just hated that structure and that format of the episode. Ronnie Thomas, imagine Alpha kills Carol. This will be the biggest shock of the show ever. Whoa. Yeah, if that happens, then that's very risky. I think there's very few instances where that could actually work. But for the most part, I think fans will be outraged. Ronnie Thomas, if Maggie comes back, how much would she have changed? And also, I want to see her with Michonne together before Michonne leaves. You're going to be disappointed because that's probably not going to happen. Maggie's going to come back. Michonne will probably, if Maggie comes back, Michonne will be long gone, probably. But in terms of how much would she have changed, I think she would have changed as much as everyone else. I think it's the same amount of change that she would probably have seen. I don't think she would be a completely different character, but I think she would have changed a little bit for sure. Kid Woody, yeah, I got my Season 9 Blu-ray already pre-ordered and ready to go. Can't wait till it arrives August 20th. Yeah, I'm going to go buy it in stores on the 20th. But I can't wait to add that to my collection because at this point, I've said this before, but Season 9 is my favorite season so far. Brian H.M. Q&A, what story do you think Negan will get after the Whisper War? I think an interaction between him and Herschel Jr. is needed since we never got that in the comics. Yeah, they could do a lot of things with Negan that they not only skipped over, but they rushed through in the comic book. So I don't think Negan's time is done yet after the Whispers War. I think, if anything, it's the beginning of a new Negan that we didn't really see in the comics. We have 10 more minutes. We'll go for 10 minutes and that'll be the end of the stream. Ronnie Thomas, for me, Alden and Siddiq will die in the Whisper War. Those are very good selections. Again, I'll do my death predictions next week, I think. So stay tuned for that. But those are definitely good selections or guesses. Brian H.M. Q&A, Aaron can't die because he's pretty much the only Alexandrian left, right? Pretty much. Father Gabriel is technically an Alexandrian as well. But yeah, he's one of the select few Alexandrians left. And I think it's very unlikely for him to die as well. Ronnie Thomas, I'm still curious about what happens between her and Michonne. Who and Michonne? Aaron? They kind of covered that, not so well, but they did kind of cover that. It's the whole thing with Michonne wanting to close the gates of Alexandria on everyone, you know? Kate, who do you think will get Gabriel's water tower death? And what episode do you think it will happen in season 10? Most likely Sadiq, but they could give it to someone else as well. In terms of which episode, maybe close to the mid-season finale. Maybe, or it's tough. Last 3 episodes before the mid-season last 3 episodes of the first half. Either episode 6, 7, or 8. One of those 3, I think. Or it might even be the second half, but I think it's probably the first half. Kevin Leal, do you think Morgan or Dwight will ever be back on The Walking Dead? I doubt it. As much as I want that, but I doubt it. Ronnie Thomas, did you notice Gamma wears Enid's clothes? Yeah, I did notice that. We did a video on that. It's very interesting. Ronnie Thomas, oh, I just read that. Why do I keep reading the same thing over? Kate Whitty, Andrea's comic death and episode. There's a good chance Connie will get that. I talked about that before on a video. There's a chance, but there's a chance they might give that to someone else. If Michonne is in fact gonna die this season, she's definitely gonna get that. In terms of which episode, that's a season finale worthy episode, I think, or mid-season. So I don't think they'll do that in halfway. I think most likely, if they're going where I think they're going, or how they're going with the story, I think the mid-season finale is gonna see 2 big deaths. One is gonna be Alpha, and one is gonna be whoever's gonna get Andrea's death. Ronnie Thomas. Kevin Leal. I think Negan can be a father figure to Judith. They're already setting that up in a way. Not necessarily father figure as conventional ways you might think, but something along those lines. Ronnie Thomas, or if Negan killed a person in front of Judith, how would she react? I don't think Negan will ever do that. Maybe to protect her, but other than that, I don't think he will ever do that. How will Judith react? Depends why Negan does it and how brutal it is. Just depends. Brian H.M., do you think Kaylee's age will be a problem for the show's long run? No, I don't think so, because based on when they film and things like that, I think they could make it work, and they could do time jumps to make it work as well. So I don't think we have anything to worry about in that regard. If anything, it might be the same as with Chandler Riggs. I say a thing to Alpha like she's a better mother than Alpha, and that Lydia is better without her. I think that's set up. Like, they're setting that up already for that conversation. Kid Woody, can you rank your seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, worst to best? Worst would be season 4 for me. Then season 2. Then season 5, then 3, then 5, 3, then 1. So basically my best to worst is 1, 3, 2, or 1, 3, sorry, 1, 3, yeah, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. Kevin Leal, do you think Judith can be just as strong as Rick? Maybe in the long run, but not anytime soon. Brian H.M. season 9 was great, but definitely needed Rick or Maggie in it. Hope she returns. Maggie is more likely than Rick to come back, but yeah, I see where you're coming from with that comment. Ronnie Thomas, can't wait to see Carol and Alpha fight. Me neither. I'm very, very interested to see what they're going to do with Alpha and the showdown between Alpha and either Negan or Carol, and how they're going to integrate those three stories or those three character stories. I'm very, very interested and excited for that. Last comment or question from Ronnie Thomas. Ronnie Thomas, imagine if Michonne executed Alpha with Lucille. That'll be wild. I don't think it'll happen, but that'll be wild. But I've already shared my thoughts and opinions on what I think that scene is with Michonne holding Lucille. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. But I don't think it's as quite, or it's close, or it's, I don't think it is what everyone thinks. I think it's just Michonne's imagination. That's what I think it is. Maybe one more. Question from Brian H.M. Jerry or Ezekiel can only save one. I can only save one. I would say that's a tough one. If I really had to choose just one, then Jerry, probably. Kevin Leo, I think Maggie will be a villain when she returns. Highly unlikely. Kate Woody, in your opinion, what do you think was the most wasted character on The Walking Dead? Most wasted character. I would have to think about that. I might do a character spotlight video on the most wasted character, but I have to think about it. I can't just come out and say character. That's it for this stream. Thanks everyone for joining and asking questions and supporting the channel. Stay tuned for my reaction to the Fear episode tonight and my promo breakdown of the next episode. The episode trailer or teaser. But that's it. That's it for this stream. See you next time.